Hey, good afternoon, guys. Juan Grimaldo, welcome back to the Grimaldo Group podcast. We're here with Tim Stafford. Welcome, Tim.
Thank you, Juan. Tim Stafford. I'm with Edge Home Finance. I'm a mortgage broker, one of the largest mortgage brokers in the nation.
That's awesome.
And look forward to speaking with you. I've been watching Juan grow, and he's been fantastic. So this opportunity is awesome to talk to you.
Likewise, I follow his TikToks. He's really good on them. I always like to stay informed, and he was talking about someone being lazy. I'm lazy. I like to find the easiest way to doing things. And I don't know if that makes me lazy or something else, but I think I'm lazy because I don't like to struggle. I'll find the easiest way to do things. So that's my cheat sheet for getting information.
I'm going to disagree with you, though, because you're not lazy, because I watch you and you do stuff and you do it right. You just don't go, once you fail at something, you move it in the right direction after, which I think is the right way. Fail leads to better improvement, and that's how.
100%. One of my mentors, not directly, indirectly through books, and I actually had the pleasure of meeting him twice in person, Kerry Keller. He said, you fail forward, right? So people think that failure has a bad connotation, but in reality, most people that are successful or successful people have failed a lot.
Yeah. I found in my own life, I am not usually the smartest guy in the room. And the guy that works, the best way, I've sold constantly, and I've always moved up just because I worked harder and I didn't care if I failed. Just like my TikToks, you know what I mean? They stunk to start. Now they're getting better, and I'm growing in the following because of that.
And I identify with what you did earlier. Like you said, well, I only have my microphones, this is how I do it, and you have all this setup. And I'm like, it's not about the setup, it's about doing it. And you're doing it, and you do way more than people that have the professional setup because you're a go-getter and you just don't even care how perfect it is. It's just shipping it. And I think in life, that's the best way to see it, because most people want to be perfect because of failure and the fear of failure and the fear of what people are going to say. I got goosebumps because I don't care what people think about me. I'm going to do it anyways. And I think that comes from my childhood. But what do you think about that?
I think it's totally true. The funny part is my wife, and then I have 6 kids, they see me doing the social media. It was like, no. Now they've all accepted it, and they like it, actually. But to start, it was like, please don't do that.
You're embarrassing me, Dad. Yeah. Well, how do you think I pay the bills?
Exactly, that's right. And the funny thing is, guys, I'm used to recording on a phone. I do much simpler. He's got a nice little setup here, so that's why I keep looking at him, and they're like, wait a minute, I got to look at the camera over here. So, a little different setup, and I appreciate that because maybe I will grow into this kind of setup, which would be nice. So the things I've noticed with you, though, because I have been watching you, before we were even friends, I was watching you. You have consistently pushed forward on stuff. And as you've grown, you've pulled in a team of people, too, and you help them grow. I'd like you to address a little bit of that, because you're not just you. It's not just Juan. It's the whole team that I see growing and building and getting up. Whether you know it or not, Juan is one of the top top realtors in the country. And it's not just you, though. It's a team, and you push that team, which is great.
And I think that going back to Gary Keller, another one is that he says no one succeeds alone, and it takes a village, right, to raise a child. It takes a team to have the success that we have, and I've been blessed to have met a lot of people. I'm very impatient, and Gio, who's working with us, can attest to that. However, I have to learn, and God, I think God works with you in certain ways and puts people in front of you to make you patient. But I think that one of the things that I've been learning is to not only be patient, but also understand that we're all in different paths, right? Like, for example, you bring up your microphones. You're doing it. We have the setup. You probably do more videos than we do, and they're getting more success. And my point with that is you have to be grateful of the surroundings you have and also bring people with you to grow together. One of the things that has allowed me to gain the success that I have is the ability to work with more people and also bring them up with me. Like, if you're open to learning and growing, I'm yours. Let's go. I'll spend, like yesterday, one of the girls just joined us yesterday, and she's super excited. She's been in the industry for a year, has not sold a home. We have agents here that have been in the industry for less than a year selling multiple homes. And it's the fact that they're open to learning, right?
I've seen it. This isn't just older. These are young guys you've brought in, and they're killing it, which is fantastic.
And I feel like, again, I owe it to them because unfortunately, when I started in this business, nobody wanted to help me. And it was really sad to see that people would be so selfish and say, you know what, I cannot show you what I learned because you're going to take my business. When I tell them this is the pie and we have this much, 5,500 homes sold in the last month. Out of those 5,500, we sold 30.
Wow.
It's nothing, it's peanuts, right? However, it is a pretty good amount of homes in the market that is bad, right? And with new agents, I think the environment makes a big difference. So for me, coaching, learning, teaching has been something that I've had come to learn. I used to say that I would never ever be able to teach because I start from the middle and at the beginning and come back to the end. Like I'm all over the place. However, I'm learning, through this, that helping others succeed, which it's a quote from Zig Ziglar. In order to get what you want, you have to help others get what they want. And again, going back to when I started, nobody wanted to help me, and I feel like there's so much to do with the younger generation, teaching them how to build wealth. And also, I'm passionate about my community. I'm Hispanic, I'm Mexican, I grew up in Mexico. And also showing them the other side of the world, which they don't see, they just come here and work. So for me, I'm passionate about that and teaching them, helping them develop. If they leave, that's fine, as long as they leave better than when they came in.
That's great. Yeah, I grew up, I was one of 8 kids, and we just pushed each other. Like it was one of those things where you had to succeed because there was nothing to fall back on.
Exactly.
And what's funny is I came in I worked for a very large direct lender, and working there, I had 15 people underneath me, I had the number 1 team, we'd grown. When I came time to do my own purchase, I bought my house. I was buying it, and my brother, who works for Edge Home Finance like me, he said, hey, do you want me to price you out? And I said, no, I've got employee pricing. I've got the best. I don't need anything. And then he's like, you should just let me at least price it. So he did. And I'm like, how? All I've ever heard, the reverse of brokers, they're more expensive. We got it closed super fast, got better pricing.
Oh, wow.
And then it made me go, wait a minute, I'm doing something wrong here. So I switched over. I changed to a mortgage broker, and it kind of with the mentality of kind of how you do it is burn the boats. Yeah. I'm not gonna fail. I'm going to succeed.
You have,
and I don't
no
care
choice.
what it is. Exactly. I'm burning the boats. I'm gonna make this work. So that pushing yourself helps, and then like you're saying, building the team and the people around you. It's just I've seen that with you, and that's been great, and that's why I wanted to come talk to you and have that time with you. Like,
thank you.
You're not just a realtor who's out there, look at me, you're actually a realtor who's helping people and your community. And outside, I've seen, you've done the veterans, you've done the first-time home buyers, you've got the whole lineup, investors. You're pushing people to build wealth for the future.
Exactly, and I think that's the beauty of what we do, the difference you can make in people's lives. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna die, we're not taking anything with us. Right. So the satisfaction that you're able to help others have a good life and also empower them to change their generations to succeed. I mean, it's amazing. We were talking about reading, and the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, it talks about that. These are 2,500-year-old laws that actually apply today. It's super powerful. So if you have a chance to read that book, The Richest Man in Babylon, it's an amazing book that'll change your life and the way you see money and how money has grown. So again, going back to our responsibility and the task that we were basically given by God, right? I believe that God put us in this place for a reason. And it's not just to have a good life, which we're having a beautiful life. We've been blessed with everything, health, wealth, and everything else. And but the thing is, like, how do you share that with others? And how can you empower those around you to improve? And sadly, not everybody's gonna follow you, and not everybody's gonna wanna listen to you. And I think that's the cool part, like how can we help people see their potential and see these young kids, 21-year-old kid who owns 2 homes, making since January till now over $120,000. It's insane. Like,
that's crazy. That's fantastic.
I don't know if you going back to books. The book, The Secret. Have you ever read it?
No.
I read it a long time ago, and basically it's the law of attraction, right? What you believe. But I believe in God. It's faith. You trust God, and He provides. But I remember putting $1 and putting $100,000. I wanted to make $100,000. My first year in real estate, I made $25,000 back in 2011. The next year, I made 60. The third year, 165. And then I realized, because sometimes you don't realize, the life you're living right now, it was a dream at some point.
Yeah.
But then when you're here, you don't see it because you become accustomed. There's a concept, I can't remember right now what it is, but basically you get used to your new reality, and this is my reality, and I want more, and I want more when it's enough, right? So when you change and you have a purpose in life where you help empower others to become their best version of themselves. It doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just like, how can you improve? How can you push yourself? Like you were saying earlier with your brothers.
Yeah.
Right? You have a sister and brothers. I'm the eighth. I'm actually the eighth of my family.
You say, okay.
I wasn't fortunate enough like you to grow up with them. I think I'm the oops, because my mom had me when she was 44, my dad was 51, and my next brother is 9 years older than me.
Wow.
So that being said, I mean, I feel like we have that in us where I was kind of like an only child. And you have to succeed or succeed. There's no choice.
Yeah.
I left my home when I was 17. I was living in Mexico with my parents. They retired, and not the retirement that everybody thinks. You know, they're out on a boat, and they were barely making it. So that kind of marked me and said, you know what, I want to live a good life.
Yeah.
I want to be able to have nice things. I bought my first pair of shoes when I was 14 with my own money in Mexico, and it was different. It was interesting, right? But that was our reality. That's why going back to reality is back then. Yeah, we were good because I consider myself not rich, but I was good because I had a roof over my head. We had food on the table. I had clothes. They were not the nicest clothes, but we had clothes. And now where I'm at, things change.
Yeah.
And you have a different perspective, and you're like, man, I'm having a good life.
But so I'm kind of in the same boat with you, but something that's different that I find with people like us, and I'm assuming this about you. If you didn't have it, you'd still be happy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And people say that like I actually had a boss that said you could live with anything. I said I really could. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
I've been through. I was in the 2008 slump. Mm-hmm. Talk about
welcome to the party.
Yeah. And what's funny about that time, my wife said, "Oh, you know, we've got everything. It's so nice." I said, it's too nice. I said, when I was a kid, you depended on God more. Right now, we were making the money. We had the cars, the house, and everything. Next thing we knew, everything just kind of cut out from under us, and that was tough to go through that. But that kind of time frame brought us closer. It didn't push us apart, and it's because learning to trust in God and feeling that way. You know, one of the things that people are pushing out there is you see, and I get this on my TikToks and my social media. There's a huge bubble coming, this crash. I'm going to say false, first off.
It is.
Because
false.
It's not real.
It's actually the opposite.
It is the opposite. I went through the 2008. We had loans that were, realistically,
they shouldn't have been loans.
They shouldn't have been loans. You could say whatever you want, write what you want, and they would give you a loan for a house. Not only that, the time during that period, like 2008, 2010, the population was shrinking. Exactly. It was actually at a downward time. You could probably tie it back to Roe v. Wade. You know, that's just reality.
Yeah, it's true. No, that's true. And then overpopulation, all that BS. Yeah.
Yep. We are now at a point, and we were building like crazy. Now we haven't been.
It's the opposite.
And we've got more people out there. And if you don't know this as a homeowner or as a person out there, the median age for a first-time homebuyer just 4 years ago was 32. Mm-hmm. It's 38 now. We have so much pent-up demand. Yes, there's homes coming on the market. But be careful, because as soon as rates drop, they're going to go away.
And just for perspective, we have 15,000 single-family detached homes in Maricopa County available, and we sold 5,400. So that's a third, meaning that we have 3 months of inventory. And what that means is that if the rates drop just a little bit, they're gone. And during COVID, I start tracking the market as soon as things change. So right now, when I saw that the properties were, kind of foreclosures, some short sales, because there's some of those out there, I started timing the market. So every single day we do a market update to know where we're at, because I like to see the numbers. So during COVID, we were selling 10,000 homes a month, and we had 2,000 homes available every day. Like, it was so bad during the craziness, right? So what you're saying is so true, that people don't know this, and we are in the trenches. We see it. There's not enough inventory to supply the demand that we have. We're like 4 million homes short in the whole country, right?
Correct. Yeah. And you might think, you guys are loan officers, real estate agents, you're pushing this. I'm going to tell you, your daughter just purchased a home.
Yeah.
My daughter just purchased a home. My son has purchased a home.
How many of those are they?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't us just pushing something to help build our business. This is what we truly believe.
Yep.
And we're helping people build wealth for the future.
100%.
It's not just hey, we need to make a paycheck. We're truly out there trying to help people grow and become better.
And this is why we do this, is so that people are aware. Because I just had a conversation with our newest member, and I asked her, what do you think about the rates? They're high. And I says, what do you think about the home prices? They're high. I said, well, let me show you. And if you look at this graph, I showed her where property values since 1950 till now, they go like this. There's corrections, which if you look at the stock market, it's the same way, but it always goes up. So for those people that are waiting for the crash, you're gonna have a rude awakening when the prices go crazy high in the next year or two. And then for the rates, are they gonna drop? I don't know, but we're average. Like right now, it's the average since 1970 till now. It's what, 6.7%.
Yeah. The other thing too is in the last 50 years, there's only been 2 years where housing was negative.
So people talk about the inflation and about what do you call it? Recessions. Yeah. What happens during recessions?
Recession, home prices go up.
What happens with inflation is the cost of goods goes higher. And a house, a property, it's good, right? People are buying it.
Correct.
The materials go up, so everything's going to go up.
That's exactly what's happened, and we're heading in that same direction again. Like people are worried. Okay, we've got the tariffs, we've got the job problems, and the hard part is bad news is good news. Good news is bad news.
100%.
And I get, even on mine, I get the comments like, "Great, you're hoping for people to not have jobs." I'm not hoping for people to not have jobs. But a lower, softer job number, that brings interest rates down. It lowers inflation. That's a reality.
It is. And I think that's one thing that being in the trenches, and also not only being in the trenches, a lot of people that do real estate, but they're not really informed, even agents and loan officers that don't know really how the economy works. And what happens in our world is it's very cyclical. If you guys look at it, there's a graph that we have, and I show people where every January, the sales drop and then they go up again, and then they drop and then go up. It's very, very predictable. And when you know these things, what do you think the rich get richer? Right? They know the market. They know how it works. So, and I quote Warren Buffett like
I was going to say the same thing.
Every
Warren
single
Buffett.
day. When people are scared,
be greedy.
And when people are greedy,
be scared.
So when people, right now you guys think people are greedy or scared? They're scared.
Just like yourself. You're worried about the rates being high, affordability being high. They're scared. They're sitting back and watching, hoping it'll get better.
100%. And one of the things that I've been mentioning, and I come up with these things that I just think about. Like if you go back to 2010 and 11, people were scared. I was scared. I was working at that time. So I had a job, and I was like, man, every single day that I show up to work, I was like, I'm getting fired. Like everybody, we were all scared, and there was really, really hardship. Thank God I've always been employed. Everything was good. However, I think about those times and I'm like, man, that was the best time to buy.
Oh, absolutely. And I was the same way though. Like as a loan officer, you were hoping to make a paycheck. Mm-hmm. Real estate agents, same thing. They were waiting, just hoping to make a paycheck. People have these views of these are easy jobs. They're not. No. They're stressful jobs.
If you worry when you get fired, just think about it this way. Every time we close a transaction, we're fired. So we have to look for another job. So we constantly look for jobs. I guess that's how
what have you done for me lately?
Right?
Truly, like that's it.
It's like that.
You as soon as you close one, if you don't have something else on the board, you're done.
Exactly.
You've got to be getting the next one. And both real estate agents and loan officers, like for 2025, renewing their license, loan officers, 43% of them didn't renew their licensing. Mm-hmm. Real estate agents, I think, was somewhere similar to that.
It was about the same. Yeah.
And what you don't probably know, or you might know, is real estate agents, like the majority of them sold one house or 0 houses last year.
70% of real estate agents sold 0 houses. Just imagine.
So they're out paying for their signs, making themselves look good, try to present, and they're not making anything.
Yeah.
Why do you want to work with someone that knows what they're doing? Because they have the experience and they're actually doing this day in and day out. Would you go to an eye doctor who performs once a year? Or would you want to go to one that's every single week is just doing this surgery? The same thing with real estate. You really want to work with someone that knows what they're doing.
Definitely. And one of the things that people don't realize, the value that we provide is this can turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars over time, and not knowing or not having the right person next to you. And like I said yesterday with my newest agent, in her mind, things are not great. And I had a conversation with her parent. I'm like, what do you think? Same thing. So she's the influence and everybody around it and everybody that's talking around them. So be careful what you watch, especially the news. they want to grab your attention. And unfortunately, what they want to grab your attention with is not something positive. So it's always good to be aware of who you're listening to and who you're feeding yourself with. So listen to Tim. He's got a great content. I follow him. I watch him. I took a 30-day break from social media so that I can focus, because I caught myself spending more time on TikTok than I should. Positive stuff, but still taking my attention. But it's good to follow the people that are in the business that are really doing great, because they know, and they're not going to deceive you, because again, like he mentioned earlier, like Tim mentioned, we are here to help you reach your goals, reach your dreams. And what about helping you build wealth, right?
Yeah. It's not just in our position the next paycheck. We are actually looking out for clients, because I've had my clients for life. I'm sure you're the same way.
That's my business.
It's exactly, we want to take care of them. Negative reviews, there's no way I want to see one of those. I want my reviews to be fantastic, because ultimately when it comes to a purchase, I'm trying to make the realtor shine. Because sadly on your part, if the lender doesn't make you shine, they remember the realtor more than the lender, and that's not fair either. So
it's a reflection on everybody's work, and that's why it's good to align. Like, we have our partners that we've been working with, from inspectors, contractors, everything. Actually, the guy that's working here in the office right now, I used to work with him. He's a contractor. He's doing some work for us. He's done a ton of work for us, and he does a great job. So I keep calling him, just like we do, right?
Yep.
And everybody that we refer, it's a reflection of our work. We haven't done any deals yet together, but we will eventually. Yep. And I think that's important. I've seen your work, and I love it. And it makes a difference when you're working with a true professional, because like you said, we all make each other look good.
Yes.
And speaking of the team you were mentioning earlier, people think that I do a great job. I think my team does a great job, and they make me look good.
And that works for everyone.
100%.
So.
Just imagine going to the restaurant where the cashier is the cook, and it's also getting the food for you, and it's serving the tables. You need someone in every single station so that they can all serve a better purpose. And I think that's, for us, that's what's worked so well, that we all have our positions and we work together to have the best outcome.
But ultimately, your name's on it, and that's why you're
100%.
concerned with everybody along the way. So
definitely, and I want him to do great. Honestly, at the end of the day, yes, I want my image is important, and I want to make sure that we deliver good. And no matter what you do, they say that when you walk into a room, 50% of the people don't like you. So I'm okay with people not liking everything that we do. However, those people that do, we truly appreciate them, and we'll go to bat for them no matter what. We do everything. We don't property manage yet, but we do it for free for our clients, because we have referrals for everything. If they need a plumber, electrician, they just call, and we help them out. So
yeah,
it's good.
I am actually somebody, and I know a lot of, unfortunately, loan officers were a dime a dozen. You can throw a rock and hit one of us, but that's
same
reality.
Thing for realtors.
Yeah, I know it is. But I answer the phone every time, and I have people like, surprised you answer the phone. I don't care. My view is, especially, I do a lot of first-time home buyers, especially a lot of first-time VA home buyers. Awesome. But my feeling is to them, and I always tell them, call me whenever you have a problem. I don't care if it's Saturday night at 9:45. Call me. You know why? You're looking at something that has you worried, and it's I feel like it's a Band-Aid, and you could pull it off, and it's a boo-boo that, no problem, give it a little kiss.
Exactly.
Or you might have some pus coming out of it, and we need to fix that. I don't want you going to bed worrying about something like that. When you're a first-time home buyer, especially anybody in the process, we do this all day long. We're used to it. I'm going to get you an answer. I'm going to fix it. But I don't need people sitting out there worried that they're being left and not helped. And unfortunately, fortunately for me, that happens a lot. And they come over my way after. I've picked up a lot of deals because of that. So I'm sure you as a realtor, you have people that maybe do a listing and it's not being promoted the way it should.
Yep, or not priced right. Most of the times, if you tell people what they want to hear, and then things aren't moving, and then you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And it's uncomfortable to have that conversation. Yeah. So reaching out and letting them know, hey, you know what? I gave you a price, but based on the current market conditions, we need to adjust.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we're going to be chasing the market. But yeah, you have to have those uncomfortable conversations. And
that I've seen too with realtors, where they're scared to tell them up front, because people want to hear what they want to hear. Same thing on loans. But if you price a house and you're like, hey, I could get this much for it, and you're wrong, you're going to get a lot less.
It's going to cost you more.
Market. So you need to actually be with someone. When I sold my own home, how you were saying the market was being chased, I went less than what my own realtor at the time wanted. Mm-hmm. We sold it for $90,000 more than my asking price.
Exactly. People think that you're going to sell for less, but
yes,
100%.
People came in and raised it up, and that was what I wanted. Same thing that people should be looking for now. Right now, it's a tighter market in terms of if you're a seller, there's a lot of selection out there. If you overprice, you're hurting yourself.
Yes, and also the new builds. There's a lot of new homes offering 4% rates, 3% rates. So there's a lot of competition that is going to impact your price at the end of the day.
Even for us as loan officers, someone will come to me and they're trying to do a new build and they're working with, I tell them most of the time, I'll look at it, but you're more likely to get a better deal working with the loan officer that's with that new build, because the builder is paying your rate down and all. And if I'm not going to get that same kind of, not compensation, but benefit from them, take advantage of it. I'll help you in the future.
Exactly. That's the beauty of being honest, is that you'll guide them in the right direction. Yet, if you go to a new build, or if you're thinking about going to a new build, please reach out to us, because we do negotiate, and we have been getting discounts up to $30,000 and getting even deeper rates, because again, we do this every day. And you don't, so don't rely on you. Yes, people think that if they go on by themselves, they're gonna save money. But it's just, I tell them, let's say you're getting a divorce, it's like going with your wife's or ex-wife's to be attorney to court. How would that work out?
Yeah,
right.
Truly, like when you go in there, I see this a lot. People think, well, I'm going to get a better deal by not being represented. No, because you're going in and they're going to take advantage of what you do know or don't know,
Exactly.
and you don't know as much. The real estate agent comes in who knows what they're doing. They're going to get you a much better deal and put you in a better situation going forward.
Definitely. Awesome.
Well, thank you, Juan.
No, thank you for coming. We appreciate you.
Appreciate being here.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.